You got one house right here, 2 houses right here, 3 houses right here, 4 houses right here, 5 houses right here, maybe 2 houses right there. Thank God we have Donald Trump, who's now the president, who's gonna change a lot of tax laws, because what they do is, like I said, I got an open case right now, so I don't want to talk bad about that. I'm never gonna address nothing. Y'all believe what y'all want to believe. That's a half a ticket right there. I'm really the type that could take 2 years off, because this is really my lifestyle.
Looks like 6ix9ine's spiral just keeps getting messier by the minute. His enemies are having a field day clowning him, especially Chief Keef. This whole situation is giving major 2018 flashbacks. If you've been paying attention, you probably noticed 6ix9ine hasn't been iced out like he used to be. The heavy chains, gone. The flashy rings, missing in action. Now we know why. The IRS pulled up and started auctioning off his stuff. Yup, all those pricey chains, watches, and flashy toys he used to flex, they're getting snatched and sold off. It's wild how fast things flipped. The truth is out. Dude is broke, and there's no faking it now. And let's be real, after all that trolling and fake flexing, nobody out here feels sorry for him. Fans have been catching on for a while. In his recent videos, he barely had any jewelry on, and people started asking, where's all the bling? The answer came loud and clear once the IRS stepped in. This ain't no small problem either. His assets have been getting seized since last year. That means his debt must be way deeper than anyone thought. And since the auctions are still going down, yeah, this mess is far from over. What makes it even worse is that money was always 6ix9ine's favorite thing to brag about. From the start of his career, he acted like he was untouchable, flexing cars, cribs, chains, all that. He'd clown anyone who didn't have his kind of cash. He even said straight up that money controlled everything in his life. Where he stayed, what he drove, how he moved.
But right now, shooting my music video, Legend. I got out the car randomly, asked a random person if I was allowed to stay in their house for 2 days, eat what they eat, live.
Now, that money talk dried up real quick. With all the drama surrounding him, it was only a matter of time before 6ix9ine's money started drying up. Right after getting out of jail, he actually had a massive multi-million-dollar record deal waiting on him. Sounds like a comeback, right? But nah, after all the legal mess and falling out with half the industry, most fans weren't checking for a new 6ix9ine drop like that. His first couple tracks post-prison, like Gooba and Trolls, did numbers at first, but that was just because folks were curious to see what he'd do next. That hype didn't last long. When he dropped his Tattletales album, it sold only 53,000 units in its first week. Not bad, but not the comeback he needed. And his next album, La Vida, didn't even get proper first week sales numbers. Like, was anyone even listening? Then there was that album Blackballed. Yeah, most people didn't even know it existed. And honestly, who really played it? Even 6ix9ine himself hinted that he got blackballed from the industry.
To be honest, since I got out of jail, I feel like I just been blackballed from a lot of things.
Instead of focusing on music, he got way deeper into online chaos, starting beefs, trolling, pulling stunts, all to stay relevant. But here's the thing, it wasn't bringing in real money, and that's a problem when you're buried in debt. By 2022, rumors were flying that 6ix9ine was having serious financial issues, and it wasn't just talk. His own manager, Wack 100, said 6ix9ine was completely broke and barely surviving. Wack even claimed he had to send him cash just so he could get gas in his car. That's insane.
Yeah, he broke as a mother. 6ix9ine ain't got nothing. Man, that over there doing bad, bro. I had to send him $20 for some gas, man. Yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why we was telling the people ain't nothing we can really do for you right now, because niggas broke, bro.
It got so bad that 6ix9ine told the court he was struggling just to pay his bills. Still, a lot of folks thought he was faking it. Just another stunt. But now, seems like the money problems were very real. Turns out 6ix9ine really wasn't capping. Dude was seriously down bad. Around this time, he got hit with a lawsuit for skipping out on $75,000 in security fees, and even his own lawyers were chasing him for unpaid bills. That's when the Steve Will Doet drama came out. Steve, a big-time YouTuber and streamer, had actually been helping 6ix9ine behind the scenes with money. Steve said 6ix9ine straight up told him he was broke and needed help. So what did Steve do? He lined up a $2 million deal for him with the streaming platform Rumble. And get this, all 6ix9ine had to do was hop on once a week, play some video games for 1 hour, and collect the bag. Easy money, right? But nah, 6ix9ine fumbled it bad. He took the money and ghosted the whole deal. Never streamed, never showed up, nothing.
So what happened between you and 6ix9ine?
I got him a deal, right? To play video games.
Rumble. once a week for an hour.
Damn.
$2 million up front, and he just doesn't do it. He had no money at the time, and he needed money to fucking, he breaks up with his girlfriend, and he needs money to buy Birkin bags for all these black chicks and give away money to make his girlfriend jealous. That's literally like the factual story. He told the company, I need $2 million up front so I can buy a content house. See these videos of him giving away money and stuff, it's never his.
Steve even said 6ix9ine asked for cash just to buy luxury bags for girls, trying to make his ex jealous. That blew up in his face too, because once he bailed on the deal, he ended up owing Rumble the full $2 million, another major debt stacked on top of everything else. One commenter even said he got $2 million to play games once a week for an hour and couldn't commit. Why can't I get even a quarter of that? That right there showed everyone just how badly he fumbled the bag. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, boom, there's a $1 million lawsuit from a publicist who got robbed by his crew. They wanted restitution, and that added even more heat to his already messy situation. At this point, 6ix9ine was even talking about filing for bankruptcy just to stay afloat.
If another TMZ staff member kidnaps you, is that loyal to you? You're working right now. If Harvey's stealing all of the money that you're making right now and gives you crumbs.
What really crushed 6ix9ine's whole situation was the $10 million lawsuit that came from a stripper named Alexis. Back in 2021, he was at the club when someone called him a rat. Instead of brushing it off, he wilded out and chucked a champagne bottle across the room, but he missed the target and ended up smacking Alexis in the head instead. She had to be rushed to the ER and get staples to close the gash on her head. She sued him for serious injuries, and guess what? 6ix9ine didn't even bother showing up to court. So of course the judge hit him with a default judgment. That was a $10 million L, just like that. And we can't forget about the IRS breathing down his neck either. He reportedly owed them another $10 million in unpaid taxes. So now, with everything stacked up, lawsuits, back taxes, unpaid deals, he was sitting on over $20 million in debt. That's not just broke, that's sunk. That's why in 2024, the feds raided his Florida mansion. Witnesses saw federal agents rolling up, going through his house, and towing away multiple whips. All that flexing? Yeah, it's done. The 6ix9ine era of stunting is officially canceled. And the internet? Oh, they're having a field day. The same way 6ix9ine used to clown other rappers for going broke? Now it's his turn to get roasted. The memes are non-stop. One person joked, 6ix9ine joining Squid Games to pay off his debt, and another said, if Trippie Redd buys one of his chains, I'm falling out of my chair? That would be straight up poetic, since 6ix9ine snitched on Trippie back when they were beefing. And of course, Chief Keef had to slide in with some shade. After all, 6ix9ine disrespected him and even allegedly put a hit out on his people. According to reports, Keef said this is straight up karma for 6ix9ine being a rat, and that this is just the beginning. This beef been brewing since 2018, and it was messy from the jump. It all kicked off when 6ix9ine got into it with Chief Keef's cousin, Tato, over Cuban Doll. At the time, Cuban Doll was dating Tato, but she popped up in a video with 6ix9ine, and that set everything off. Things escalated quick when a video surfaced showing 6ix9ine and Tato arguing on FaceTime. Tato wasn't playing. He told 6ix9ine, I unleash people, throwing direct threats his way. Instead of squashing it, 6ix9ine poured more gas on the fire and started aiming shots straight at Chief Keef and Lil Reese. By May 2018, he was out here trying to flex tough. He even pulled up to O Block in Chicago at 3 a.m., claiming he was outside in enemy territory. But later, footage exposed that the streets were completely empty. He pulled up when nobody was out, just for the cameras. Meanwhile, Chief Keef and Lil Reese were really out in the city looking for him, ready to handle business. But there were rumors flying that 6ix9ine was rolling with police protection the whole time. People weren't buying his tough guy act anymore. Then it got serious. In June 2018, Chief Keef got targeted in New York. And while 6ix9ine tried to play innocent, investigators linked him to the whole situation. And just when you thought he'd chill, 6ix9ine flew out Chief Keef's baby mama. Slim Danger took her shopping, filmed the whole thing, and even had her calling Keef a deadbeat. Straight disrespect. But 6ix9ine didn't stop there. He kept going, called Keef a P word, trolled him after his crib got broken into, and in one wild moment was even caught on video bragging about putting a hit out on Tato. Like, it wasn't rap beef anymore. It was real street drama. That video where 6ix9ine bragged about putting a hit on Tato, yeah, that ended up being key evidence in the RICO case that sent him to prison.
I watch movies. In real life, these rappers are like, yo, remember, just don't let it distract you. Just remember every time I beat.
Wild how karma comes full circle. Now fast forward to today, and Chief Keef is getting the last laugh. After all the trolling, sneak disses, and straight up disrespect 6ix9ine threw his way, it's him who's getting clowned. And how did 6ix9ine handle it? He hopped on IG Live and completely crashed out. Instead of owning up to anything, he started dodging real questions and coming at his own fans, calling them broke for paying rent. Like, what? At least they got a roof over their heads? He tried brushing off the fact that he lost all his jewelry and whips, acting like it wasn't a big deal, but you could see it got under his skin. He was clearly pressed, and the situation ain't just about losing chains, this is deeper. He finally admitted he didn't file taxes between 2020 and 2023, even though he claimed to have paid over $6 million before that. Now the IRS is on his neck heavy, and they've already started snatching his assets left and right. To make it worse, he blamed the whole mess on New York's high taxes and said that's why he moved to Florida, to dodge the hit under the Biden administration.
A couple Q&As. Addressing the IRS situation. Listen, a lot of y'all don't understand how the shit work because y'all not on that tax bracket, right? What happened was that I didn't report my taxes for 2020, 21, 22, and 23. Those years, I done paid $6 million, $2 million in 2018, $1.3 million 2019. For the year of 2020, I'm at 1.8 million. Over $6 million went to the IRS. When you make over a certain amount of money, I think they tax you in the state of New York 54%. Biden was trying to raise it to 62%.
But let's be real, that's just deflection. He even went as far as name-dropping Donald Trump and calling the IRS a gang after your income.
My president, Donald Trump, these people belong at the border. They just a big gang that comes after your income and everything. So listen, this is not no Airbnb.
Like, bro, none of that changes the facts. He's drowning in debt, the money's gone, the lifestyle's collapsing, and his case, it's still open. Even with the Fed snatching up his stuff, 6ix9ine still swears he's not bankrupt. But if he's really sitting on stacks, then why is the government out here auctioning off his chains like collectibles? The internet's been tearing him apart in the comments, and instead of laying low, he just keeps talking and making it worse. One person dropped a brutal comment. You don't need to be a tax expert or in a specific bracket to see he fumbled the bag and ended up in a public embarrassing mess.
Y'all could never cooperate with the government and come back. Y'all could never do that. I'm a living legend at the age of 24 years old.
And they're not wrong. And just when you think the clown show's over, boom, it gets even crazier. Just last month, 6ix9ine turned around and tried to sue LA Fitness for $1 million. Yes, a gym. It's one thing to lose your fortune, but suing a fitness center for a bag? That's a new level of desperation. At this point, it's obvious. He's trying anything to get money flowing again. Let's keep it real. This lawsuit probably ain't going anywhere, but it shows just how far he's fallen.
Two of them weren't members of the gym. One of them was a member of the gym. Yeah. So do you think that they went there intentionally to attack you, or was it a crime of opportunity?
A little bit of both.
This is the same guy who used to flex $1 million watches and custom Lambos. Now he's out here chasing gym lawsuits for cash. You cannot make this up. So with the IRS taking his jewelry, the streets roasting him daily, and even Chief Keef sitting back enjoying the downfall, it really makes you wonder, where does 6ix9ine go from here? Is there even a comeback left in him? Or is this the final chapter of his wild ride? All these lawsuits, failed flexes, and internet meltdowns, maybe he's finally learning that trolling can only get you so far before the truth catches up. Let me know what you think in the comments, and while you're here, make sure to smash that like button, share this with your crew, and subscribe so you never miss the next update from the streets. You already know we keep it real, raw, and unfiltered. Catch you on the next one.